1557. The king of the richest empire on earth opens his treasury and finds it empty. He owns a mountain of silver. Philip II of Spain will go bankrupt 4 times. This is how all the silver in the world couldn't save Spain. Start with the mountain, Potosí, high in the Andes, a peak so full of silver the Spanish simply called it the Rich Hill. Every year, treasure fleets carried that silver across the Atlantic to Seville, a river of metal no kingdom had ever seen. Europe assumed Spain was invincible. Its army was the finest in the world. Its king ruled from the Americas to the Philippines. But Philip was fighting everyone: France, the Dutch, the Ottomans, England, and armies spend silver faster than mountains can make it. So the king borrowed first from the thuggers of Germany, then the bankers of Genoa, against next year's treasure fleet. In 1557, 1 year into his reign, Philip suspended all payments, the first sovereign bankruptcy in modern European history. He didn't call it bankruptcy. Kings don't go bankrupt. He simply converted his short-term debts into long-term bonds by royal decree. The bankers had no choice: lend to the king again or lose everything already lent. So they lent again, at higher rates. And here's the trap: the silver itself was poisoning Spain. So much metal flooded in that prices exploded. Historians call it the price revolution. Bread, cloth, ships, soldiers, everything cost more in Spain than anywhere else in Europe. Spanish industry couldn't compete, it withered. The silver didn't even stay in Spain. It flowed straight through to bankers in Genoa, armies in Flanders, merchants in Asia. Spain wasn't a rich country. It was a pipe that treasure passed through, leaking interest at every joint. Then came the receipt history can't forget. In 1575, Philip defaulted again and stopped paying his army in Flanders. The finest soldiers in Europe went months without wages. In November 1576, they decided to pay themselves. The unpaid Spanish army sacked Antwerp, the richest city in northern Europe, on their own side. Thousands died in 3 days. They called it the Spanish Fury, an empire's own army destroying the empire's own city because the paymaster went broke. Philip defaulted again in 1596, and his successors kept going. The Spanish crown kept failing on its debts for another century. Meanwhile, Little England and Holland, with no silver mountains at all, were building something better: credit, trade, and trust. By 1700, Spain, owner of history's greatest treasure, was Europe's cautionary tale. The metal was never the wealth. Because that's the lesson in Spain's ledger: income is not wealth. A fortune spent faster than it's built is just a countdown. Silver obeys the same law as any paycheck. What matters isn't what flows in, it's what the system does with it. The ledgers of history are full of stories the legends won't tell. Subscribe to Blood and Treasure and keep reading them.